Okay, this is just a really quick video about Oculus Home and how to import assets. I'm not going to be able to show it like how the other guy did. This is more aimed towards people that want to create it in 3D themselves rather than download it from Sketchfab and all that sort of stuff. Again, I'm not sure how to film in VR at the moment and it's quite late, so I just want to make this video really quick just to show the process inside Blender, and any other information can be googled and found out on other videos. I think there's a max file size of maybe 15 megabytes is what I heard of, something like that. I've imported some files previously. This is the file folder structure that you'll need to import to. So documents, Oculus Home import should be where you can import things. As you can see, I've tried a few things here. Test objects. You can see the asset sizes for me have been pretty small. This mega test was a proper textured asset that I'd made, and it imported fine. It was a very basic asset still, but that's why the file size is a little bit bigger. Not sure on the limits and stuff. I think just test the waters and reduce texture sizes if needed. Other than that, the system inside Blender is actually really quick. You're going to want to delete your camera and light. I'm going to assume you know how to use Blender and you know how to 3D model. This is Blender 2.8, so I will be going over some basic stuff. The default material here is, it just works when exporting into that folder, so no issues there. This can just be done if you wanted a, up here on the top right you can change to your rendered viewport and then maybe add a light in just to actually visualize what you're doing and what this asset's going to look like. As you can see, it is just a basic asset at the moment. So the material's not really doing much, but what you can do is just mess around with these default values. If you bring that metalness up to 100%, when you import this into Oculus, it's going to be metal. If you separate the top of this, I just duplicated it, so I'm going to delete that, and I've still got the face here, so I've separated a face, and let's say I want that to be emissive. I actually changed that straight to an emissions shader. Oh yeah, so I need to just change this to a different material, change that back to its original one, and maybe turn up the emissive on this. I think I had it on I can't remember what I had it on, but it's worth testing. And that imported just fine, so that worked. If you want to import just with textures and stuff, you're going to need to, you don't even need, well, I don't think you need to package textures with it. Let's say I want a base color. My texture was just base color, roughness, and a normal map. But we'll try an image texture, and we will quickly find one. Let's take a random screenshot. Yep, so that's just a random image. And what you can do is pretty much just export that, and it should work. Remember, you've got to select all your objects, don't select the lights, and you're going to want to export as this bottom one here. Once you've done that, to whichever folder you want, so I'll put it to my desktop, because I don't want it to import to my Oculus, because I don't know how to delete them from Oculus. And then you can actually just straight away export to the GLB. If you really wanted, you could, separate the textures and stuff, and it'll all export into one place, and then you have to pack it again. But you can export straight to a GLB, selected objects, turn off the animations if you haven't got any. I think I did test, I ticked that, just why not. But in general, default settings was fine. Name it what you want. You would hit export, and then you would just drag and drop it into this folder here, and it should work. The only thing that got me was the color space on the texture. So if the textures are being a little bit weird, then you can try importing it through here. So if I open a different texture to the one that I just opened, so let's say test JPEG, yep, that's fine. Let's say, so I've now imported test, just a random render that I've made. I can change that to sRGB and linear color and stuff like that. And now when I'm in here, that image actually appears. So that worked for me. Failing that, you got to check your actual texture settings. I'm not sure what the exact ones are. I ran mine through Substance Painter and it came out fine. Obviously not everyone's got Substance Painter, so I haven't got Photoshop, but you can run it through Photoshop. But yeah, really basic, and hopefully that helps. So I'll see you next one.